Hey everybody, Magic Hour Movie Man here with a Blu-ray update. Not only a Blu-ray update, but also a Netflix Instant Watch recommendation. And I'm going to talk about a couple of celebrities that recently passed away and talk about a couple of their films. So that'll be after the Blu-ray update, so stick around for that. But first, let's get right to what I picked up within the last week. I went to Best Buy and picked up a couple of things. The first thing I picked up was Blade. I really like this movie. I remember seeing it in the movie theater, and I've had it on. I think it was one of the first DVDs I ever bought. So I was glad to find this on Blu-ray, and it's also got the Dark Knight Rises movie money. So that's nice. So that's at Best Buy. If you haven't picked that up already, check out Best Buy. I think they've got it in stock now, which is good. I've heard this has been hard to find for some reason. I don't know why, but the studio has been really, I don't know, elusive in releasing this for some reason. Who knows? It's a good movie though. Also at Best Buy I picked up The Deer Hunter. Had it on DVD, wanted to upgrade to Blu-ray, and of course it's got the nice Universal 100th anniversary sleeve, which is nice. I think Best Buy had it for $12 or $13, but I had a $3 off coupon, and you can get that coupon at, I think it's universal100th.com/rewards. You can probably just find it from the universal100th.com. They've got a some type of instant win game there. You have to register an email address, of course, but then you spin like a little wheel, and there's prizes that you can win. And it seems like the default prize is a $3 off coupon. So I did it a couple times, got a couple of coupons. It only let me print out 2, so I think that's the maximum you can get. So I used it for that. Also, Walmart.com recently had recently had Paranormal Activity 3 for $5. You could not select the ship to store though, so you had to pay for shipping to your house. But that was only a couple extra bucks, so for $7, and this is a relatively new release, thought that was a good deal. I like the Paranormal Activity movies. They're not perfect by any means, but one thing I like about them, especially over the course of the 3 films, is they've established an interesting kind of mythology that, you know, goes over the course of the trilogy. And also something they do, I think, rather successfully is use prequels in that trilogy to kind of set up that mythology. And this third one takes place in the 80s. I might do like a little review for this later, who knows. But fun movie, and for the price I thought it was a good deal. The next couple of movies I got from Amazon. First one being the Riding Trilogy. If you haven't heard of this, this is a British miniseries that's really good. It's basically, you can consider it 3 different movies as a trilogy. Obviously it's the Riding Trilogy, but it centers around some mysterious murders taking place, and each episode of the trilogy takes place there in a different time frame, which is interesting and centers on a different protagonist as they're kind of investigating the murders. So the less I say about it, I think the better for when you do see it, because it's very interesting. Kind of think of movies like Seven, things like that, and you'll get an idea of the kind of vibe that this trilogy has. It's really good. And then finally, again from Amazon, I got The Man from Nowhere, which is a really good Asian film. I forget if it's Korean or I think it's Korean. But this is a really good movie. Basically, it's one of those movies where it has a reluctant hero who kind of gets pushed into taking action. In this case, it's the main character runs this little pawn shop, and there's a little girl that is a neighbor that keeps coming in there, and he sees that she's unfortunately got a mother who's got some ties to some bad guys, we'll say, and from there it's that that little girl needing help, and this guy who runs the pawn shop who has a past that he's kind of like maybe Liam Neeson, and this is a bad comparison, but maybe like Liam Neeson in Taken, where he's got a specific set of skills. So that's definitely a good movie to check out. This is also my Netflix Instant Watch recommendation because it is on Netflix Instant Watch. That's where I first saw it, and I liked it enough I wanted to own it. So I'd been looking for a good price, and Amazon had it for a decent price, I think $10. And so I thought it was worth picking up. It's got the slipcover, which is nice. Alright, so that completes the Blu-ray update. The next thing I want to talk about are a couple of celebrities who recently passed away. The first one is a writer and director, Nora Ephron. I wasn't like a huge fan of hers, but there is one movie that she was involved with that I'm a very huge fan of, and that's When Harry Met Sally. So that's a recommendation for you there. If you've never seen When Harry Met Sally, to me it's the best romantic comedy that's ever been made. Nora Ephron had a big part of that. She wrote the screenplay, and Rob Reiner directed it. Very good movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely need to check it out. And then the other celebrity who recently died is Andy Griffith. A lot of people know him mostly from the Andy Griffith Show, where he played Sheriff Andy Taylor, who's the sheriff of the small town of Mayberry, North Carolina. I'm from small town North Carolina, so I always liked that show. Always liked Andy Griffith. That's where I knew him from first. Also my dad had some of his records. He kind of got his start as being kind of this comedian storyteller. Most famously, he had a bit called What It Was Football. So I remember hearing that record over and over as a kid. So I always knew him from that. Matlock, of course, knew him from Matlock. Wasn't a fan of that show, but knew him from that as far as later in life and his career. And then, as an adult, I found this movie, A Face in the Crowd, directed by Elia Kazan, and it's a very different Andy Griffith than you're used to seeing. He's a pretty dark character in this. If you haven't heard of it, basically, it's a movie about the corruption of fame and power. Andy Griffith plays a guy that he's a folksy kind of guy that plays guitar, sings, has folksy witticisms, and he kind of gets discovered by a reporter who does a recurring radio piece called A Face in the Crowd, where she just finds random people and kind of highlights their story. And she finds him, and he suddenly becomes a national celebrity. Gets his own show, kind of like a, I don't know, a cross between Oprah and The Daily Show, where he's very popular and even starts highlighting politicians, and from there it shows his slide or his descent into corruption and things like that. And you see a dark Andy Griffith, which is really interesting to see, especially if you know him from, lighter stuff like, the Andy Griffith Show and Matlock and things like that. So definitely check this movie out. It's really good, very controversial, especially for the time in which it was made. So definitely check that out. Alright, so that was my Blu-ray update, my Netflix Instant Watch, And again, a couple of recommendations of some films from some celebrities who have recently passed away. Look into her eyes. You want to like this video. You want to subscribe. Ooh.